Yo, let me ask you something. What if I told you that even the big dogs in Norse mythology, Odin, Thor, Tyr, were straight up terrified? And nah, not of some giant with a hammer, not of a world-wrapping serpent. They were scared of a wolf, a beast so savage, so unstoppable. They believed he'd swallow Odin himself when the world burned in flames. This wasn't just some bedtime story your grandpa told to scare you. This was Fenrir, the god killer, the monster born from chaos, the beast that even the gods couldn't control. But like, who was he really? And why were the gods so shaken to their core? So here's how it starts. Fenrir wasn't just some random monster, he came from serious drama. His dad? Loki, the trickster god. Basically chaos wrapped in a smile. His mom? Angerboda, a giantess from Jotunheim who wasn't exactly winning any most friendly awards. Together they had 3 kids, and none of them were even close to normal. First came Jormungandr, the world serpent so massive he literally wraps around the earth. Then Hel, the half-dead queen of the underworld who ruled over the forgotten souls. And finally, Fenrir, no oceans, no underworld, just pure walking destruction. And from the second he was born, the gods were already looking at each other like, yeah, we've got a problem. Prophecies were dropping left and right, saying these 3 were gonna bring on the end of everything. And Fenrir, he was public enemy number 1. Not because he'd done anything yet, but because of what they thought he'd become. Imagine that, being born already guilty, already hated, already marked as the one who would break the world. So Fenrir keeps growing, and the gods, they're straight up sweating. The prophecy was clear. One day he's gonna snap, and not just emotionally, literally, tear the world apart. So the gods try to stop it before it starts. First attempt? Lading. A massive chain. Looked strong, felt strong. But to Fenrir, it might as well have been thread. He shattered it like it was made of dry twigs. No problem. Alright, plan B. Dromi. Bigger, thicker, heavy duty. Gods were like, yeah, this one'll hold. No. Fenrir tore through that too. No sweat, no struggle, just power. And that's when it hit them like a hammer to the chest. This wasn't a fight they could win with brute force. If they were gonna stop Fenrir, they'd need to get sneaky. Now here's where things get real weird. Gods, they run to the dwarves, not just blacksmiths, but real deal cosmic level craftsmen. And they're like, yo, we need a chain, but like magic, something no beast can break. So the dwarves get to work, only they don't use iron or steel. Nah, they build something called Gleipnir. But this thing, it's not made of metal. It's made of 6 things that technically don't even exist. A cat's footstep, a woman's beard, the breath of a fish, bird spit, roots of a mountain, and the nerves of a bear. Yeah, that's real Norse mythology. Somehow they twisted all that into a ribbon. Soft, smooth, almost delicate. Looks harmless, feels harmless. And that's the trap. It wasn't about strength, it was about deception. Make Fenrir think, this ain't a threat. Spoiler alert, it was. He saw that silky little ribbon and was like, nah, this is Seuss. Something felt off, so he throws out a challenge. I'll let you tie me up, but one of you's gotta put your hand in my mouth. Insurance. Trust check. Most of the gods, they looked at each other like, yeah, no thanks. But one step forward. Tyr, the god of war, the god of justice, the god of doing what no one else would. Tyr was built different. No fear, no flinching. He steps up, hand out, jaw open. Puts his hand right into the mouth of the most dangerous creature alive. Then, the dwarven ribbon wraps around Fenrir. Tight. Too tight. Fenrir pulls. He thrashes. He fights. Nothing. He's stuck. And then, it hits him. He's been betrayed. Chomp. Tyr loses his hand. Just like that. The gods get what they wanted. Fenrir is bound. But the vibe in Asgard, it's different now. There's no celebration, just silence, because they all knew this wasn't the end, it was just a pause. So yeah, they locked Fenrir down, chained, silenced, buried in the lies of peace, but everyone knew it wasn't forever. The prophecy was crystal clear. When Ragnarok hits, the end of all things, Fenrir breaks free. And when he does, it's not just fury, it's not just rage, it's every ounce of betrayal he's carried for centuries exploding at once. The skies don't just darken, they split. The ground doesn't shake, it tears apart. And out of that chaos, Fenrir rises, fully grown, fully enraged, and ready to burn it all to the ground. Not just vengeance, purpose, not just destruction, destiny. When the world ends, Fenrir's got one target, Odin, the one who raised him, the one who feared him, the one who chained him. And when they finally meet on the battlefield, it's not a fight, it's an execution. Fenrir swallows Odin whole, just like the prophecy said. But the gods, they came prepared. From the smoke walks Vidar, Odin's quiet son. He doesn't talk much, doesn't have to. He's got something no one else has, a boot made from the scraps of every shoe ever built by mankind, a symbol of patience, silence, and purpose. He steps down on Fenrir's jaw, holding it open, and with all the weight of his grief, he rips that wolf apart. Right there on the battlefield, Odin is gone. Fenrir is dead, and in that silence after the storm, no one really wins. But the balance? It's reset. Here's the real talk. Fenrir was never just a monster. He's not some fairy tale villain or bedtime scare story. He's what happens when people try to chain what they fear. Nature, power, fate, emotion. Instead of understanding him, they tried to control him. The gods didn't speak to him, didn't reason, didn't listen. They just saw a threat and reached for the chains. But here's the truth. You cage something wild long enough, it's gonna break loose. And when it does, it doesn't come back quiet. It comes back roaring. It comes back to change everything. Here's the question that hits different. Was Fenrir really the villain? Or was he just set up to fail from the very beginning? He didn't hurt anyone. Not at first. But the gods treated him like a threat from day one. Raised him in fear. Chained him in distrust. Betrayed him when he trusted them most. So maybe, just maybe, he didn't choose destruction. Maybe he was pushed into it. And that right there, that's the tragedy. Because sometimes monsters aren't born. They're built by how the world treats them. Fenrir wasn't just a wolf. He was fate, rage, payback. He was what happens when you try to lock down the wild and lose. Want to hear more wild legends and ancient truths? Subscribe to Heaven Bookstore and keep the stories alive. Drop a like, hit that bell, and tell us, who do you fear more, Fenrir or Jormungandr? And yo, don't forget to howl back in the comments.